The ongoing chaos in Afghanistan is perhaps not an isolated geopolitical tussle.
Our mission in Afghanistan was never supposed to have been nation building.
Perpetual conflict between the two empires, United States of America and China.
The US government created devastation to the Afghan people, bombed everything that they cannot take away.
The truth is, this did unfold more quickly than we had anticipated.
This time your insubordination is going to get you a court.
China has expressed serious concerns over the attempt to the Afghan Taliban on multiple occasions.
So what's happened? Afghanistan political leaders gave up and fled the country. The Afghan military collapsed.
Watch this detailed report, Empire's Battleground. Thank you for tuning in. This is Ratna. You are watching Empire Diaries, our independent digital platform. During the chaotic days since the Taliban was smoothly and hence mysteriously handed back the power in mid-August, the country's new rulers and Beijing have both repeatedly issued statements in the press, proclaiming their friendship. Much of what we see unfold in geopolitics happens through proxies. It's quite likely that Afghanistan is such a case. The Taliban, despite hogging the limelight, may not be the protagonist here, but merely a proxy used by China in its successful bid to dethrone the Americans in Kabul. The transfer of power happened without any bloodshed, and this seamless power transfer didn't come as a bolt from the blue. The bedrock of the unholy return of the Taliban lies in a formal agreement signed by the US government and the Taliban insurgents in 2020 in Doha. Officially, the Doha Agreement enabled a ceasefire in the US-Taliban tussle.
There was only a cold reality of either following through on the agreement to withdraw our forces or escalating the conflict and sending thousands more American troops back into combat in Afghanistan, lurching into the third decade of conflict. I stand squarely behind my decision. After 20 years, I've learned the hard way that there was never a good time to withdraw U.S. forces.
Unofficially, it set the stage for Washington to order its military to systematically hand over power to Taliban. America doggedly pursues a policy of not giving up an inch to a fast-rising China on every possible front, from Hong Kong to trade. But the same America now gives up the prized possession of Afghanistan without a fight to a regime that's openly supported by China. Either it's a win-win deal for all three sides, China, the US and the Taliban, or the deal was the outcome of a silent battle in the larger US-China geopolitical war in which China won the Afghanistan game. A look back at what the Taliban and China have been saying about each other is a telltale evidence that China is the single biggest and most welcomed stakeholder in Taliban-ruled Afghanistan. After Chinese officials repeatedly called on the world to give the Taliban a chance to have a shot at governing the country, the Taliban retorted by openly saying that China is their main international partner. Taliban has welcomed China to capitalize on Afghanistan's vast resources such as copper mines. China is our most important partner and represents a fundamental and extraordinary opportunity for us because it is ready to invest and rebuild the country. The media quoted Taliban spokesperson Zabihullah Mujahid as saying in an interview to an Italian newspaper earlier this month. Around the same week, this is what Chinese Foreign Minister had to say about Taliban. The situation in Afghanistan has undergone fundamental changes and it is necessary for all parties to make contact with the Taliban and guide it actively. The United States in particular needs to work with the international community to provide Afghanistan with urgently needed economic, livelihood and humanitarian assistance. When it comes to Taliban-ruled Afghanistan and the immediate road ahead, the positions of America and China are a study in contrast. The US has vowed to only provide over-the-horizon support to Kabul. China, on the other hand, will maintain a proper embassy in Kabul and has been welcomed to play a brotherly role in Kabul's affairs.
We've developed counterterrorism over-the-horizon capability that will allow us to keep our eyes firmly fixed on the direct threats to the United States in the region and act quickly and decisively if needed.
The US government, on the one hand, talks about its care about people's livelihood and economic reconstruction, but on the other hand, has taken with it everything that it can and bombed everything that it cannot take away. That included the navigation facilities at the Kabul airport, including the civil aircraft belonging to the Afghan people.
There are multiple battlegrounds on which the US and Chinese empires are fighting their ongoing silent World War III. Hong Kong, Taiwan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Nepal, North Korea, trade, Huawei, big tech, and South China Sea. Afghanistan was until recently one of those battlegrounds. Beijing now appears to have won that round. Only time will tell if the hawkish Americans will win Kabul back sometime soon or never. For more such stories, you can log on to our website empirediaries.com. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned.